Hello everyone, my name is Ayush Tripathi, final year student of Department of Civil Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, University of Lucknow. Today, I am here to present a seminar presentation on the topic of cybertecture. So, let's get started. So, first of all, what do we understand by cybertecture? So, cybertecture is the 21st century version of architecture. Cybertecture is basically architecture in different form, a new creation of living and working spaces with a mix of technology, multimedia, and many more. Moving ahead, what is the concept of cybertecture? So, the concept behind this new style of architecture is to create a new standard, a new level for modern day architecture, and not just use concrete, steel, and glass to create the buildings, but with new ones and with more interesting features. So, next is why do we need cybertecture? So, need for cybertecture is especially applied for the better use of energy, recycling of resources, and greater intelligence of the building. Next is what is the advantage of cybertecture over conventional architecture? So, cybertecture utilizes the latest innovations in technology and concepts to create new buildings that can perform at a higher and broader level than conventional architecture. These buildings are intelligent enough to know and talk to occupants, take care of their health, deal with energy used in the building by having sensors that know how best to modulate systems, and also interact with value added services to empower people to live, work, or play in a more powerful way. So, here is a case study on Cybertecture Egg, which is located in Mumbai. Moving on its introduction part, the Cybertecture Egg is a cybertecture building that brings together iconic architecture, environmental design, intelligent control systems, and evolutionary engineering to create the most innovative building for the city of Mumbai and for India in the 21st century. Next is the concept for the Cybertecture Act. The concept for the Cybertecture Act was inspired by looking at the world in terms of the planet being a self sustaining vessel with an ecosystem that allows life to exist, grow, and evolve. Like our planet Earth, the building has a sustainable ecosystem derived from cybertecture thinking to give the building's inhabitants both a dynamic physical world and access to virtual spaces of the connected world. Let's talk about the building. The building comprises 33,000 square meters of office space stacked in 13 stories with highly intelligent building management systems and 3 levels of basement providing 400 car parking spaces. The cantilever part of the egg spans more than 40 meters. Talking about its structure, the structure of the cybertecture egg uses a diagrid exoskeleton which creates a rigid structural system allowing for large column-free floor plates and high space flexibility. The ingenuity of this form effectively reduces approximately 15% of construction material use compared to a conventional orthogonal building. The structural diagrid is one of its kind in the world and uses cast steel nodes of solid steel to create a fire-resistant structure. Now, what are the benefits of diagrid system? Basically, there are several benefits of diagrid system. One of the major benefit of diagrid system is that it resists the overturning of structure. Secondly, there is a possibility of reduction in steel of about 20% and also the easy and efficient distribution of the load. Now, What are the differences between conventional exterior braced frame structures and diagrid structure? Number one, diagrid structures are much more effective in minimizing shear deformations. Number two, in diagrid structures, the core can be designed to carry only gravity loads without any bracings. Number three, conventional vertical columns are eliminated in diagrid structures as compared to conventional structures. Talking about its design features, the design of the building attempts to decrease energy demands through passive solar design. The construction of an elevated garden helps to cool the building through a process called thermolysis, and the implementation of photovoltaic panels and wind turbines are there on the roof. Even water conservation is taken care of with the incorporation of water filtration system that recycles grey water for irrigation purposes. Now, talking about the ecosystem of the building. This building have an ecosystem of environmental technologies that makes the project one of the most sustainably advanced design in the world. About 20% of the water usage of the building is recycled through the rainwater harvesting system, the sewage treatment, and the wetland cell systems. The building's air conditioning is done by naturally cooled water from an underground reservoir. The building management system installed makes sure of the reduction in energy usage in less utilized and less occupied spaces. Now, talking about the green features of the building. Number one, orientation of building. The orientation of building is towards the such ideal direction that it minimizes the solar and heat gain. Number second, sky gardens. Green areas of the building provide sun shading, oxygen replenishment, refuge areas for people, as well as cooling for buildings, and wetland filter beds for water recycling. Number third, photovoltaic farms. Photovoltaic cells are integrated into the facade facing the sun to help provide an alternative electricity source. Number fourth, intelligent glass facade. The building's glazing has variable fliting and turns based on sun orientation, as well as variable shading and tinting. Number fifth, water recycling system. The recycling of potable water is done through a combination of rainwater harvesting systems, sewerage treatment, and filtration and wetland cell systems. These effectively recycle up to 20% of the water supply consumption of the building. And the last one, underground water cooling. Related to the water recycling system, the underground cooling system embedded deep underground in a reservoir provide naturally chilled water for the building's air conditioning. Here is the another example of cybertecture. It is a cybertecture which is located in Dubai known as Pixel Tower. This 18-story facade was inspired by the moving bubbles in a champagne glass and built for the young, touchy, and trendy. Intended for the Dubai waterfront, Pixel Tower draws on passive solar techniques and strategic facade geometry to minimize heat gain on the structure's south side and optimize views out over the Persian Gulf to the north. Now, let's talk about the major challenges faced in India in launching cybertecture. The main challenges include education and understanding of the concept of cybertecture for established developers, builders, and local governments. The old conventional architecture seems enough. Only when the people will become aware of the potentials of the cybertecture, they will know that this is the only way India can accelerate long term development of much needed infrastructure. Applied in buildings designed for India, the concept of cybertexture will allow Indian buildings to be ahead of global trends. So, here are some references. Thank you.